All right, so I'm going to kind of give you a quick demo on just kind of the parts that I'm talking about. Camera, it's so hard to see. It's kind of bright out here. So here's the camera. I think I was telling you about that little knot. That's the little knot right there, that little silver little chip there. It was, it hit this underwater housing when it was in the bag. So that's why I said I'll make sure I package it up a little bit better than I had it originally. This was like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Everything still works perfect. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of hard. Oh, you can see reflection of reflection. No scratches. No scratches on the LCD at all whatsoever. Fingerprints a little bit. There are no scratches on the lens of the camera either. This is a really cool camera because you can actually use this ring right here to focus. You can actually set it to whatever you want. So you can set it to like ISO, F, whatever you want to set it to, which is really kind of nice too. So pretty straightforward. Functions on the back, you can probably look them up and kind of see how it works. Pretty cool, but I think the best part is actually kind of this. You can actually do some really cool stuff with that. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off. Underwater housing. This obviously comes off. It's pretty straightforward. I leave it kind of on because I do use this when I have the strobe turned off. So there are no scratches on the front. There are some scratches on the back. I find that it really doesn't make that much difference. As long as there's no scratches on the front, you should be good. All the O-rings are always lubed right after. I take everything apart, I clean it, I make sure, like even right now, the seal is so tight that I can barely pull it apart, which is good. Yellow O-ring in there. I actually stuff, you'll probably want to do this too, probably need to get new ones, but I actually stuff some of the little packets of silicone beads or whatever to keep the humidity down, because I noticed that if I don't put them in there, you do get a little bit of fogging, depending on your water, I guess, but pretty warm water here, so it does fog a little bit. That's why I keep one in the bottom, one in the top. It's the only place it'll fit, but it is kind of nice that it fits down inside of here. You can use every single function on the camera with the underwater housing, which is really nice. Obviously, big yellow button on top. This actually will turn the main ring on the front of the camera that I was showing you earlier, and you have all your buttons on the back that do exactly what you need them to do. So there are no functions on this camera that cannot be used with this housing, which is one of my favorite things, because there are a lot of housings out there that you can't use all the functions of the camera. So what's the point of that? Strobe. This is a Big Mac Daddy. Practically brand new. Awesome strobe. It's got some great features on the back. It's got TTL, which doesn't really work very well when you're diving. It also has, this is a really cool function, this little button right here is an LED. So you push it and it actually will, you can point it at your subject, and that way your camera will focus a lot easier on your object. So like say that you're like 60, 70 feet down, it's real dark. Pop the LED on, that'll help your camera focus on your subject. When the flash goes off, you'll get a clear, not blurry photo, so pretty cool. Min max, obviously. I usually keep it on minimum. I really haven't needed to put it on a max flash. I don't think ever, really, so it's kind of nice. I use these the batteries that are in here. I've used probably the last 3 times, and they're still good. Well, we're going to find out in a minute if they are. So it's kind of nice because it does not go through batteries like crazy. I'm sure that you could easily get a 2-tank dive with one set of battery, no problem. I'd always have a spare, though, too. Blu-ray tray is really straightforward. I mean, it's just a tray. This flex arm is really rigid. I kind of like it that way. You know, some people may prefer it to be a little smoother, but it is fairly rigid, so kind of be aware of that. Let's see. Let me close. So as far as putting it together, it's like, it takes 5 seconds. Super simple. Looks like the O-ring does need to be cleaned a little bit. It's got some lint in there, but if you do end up buying the setup, I'll make sure everything's perfectly clean and packaged. And I'm gonna actually, I think I'm gonna ship everything together, already like put together. I think it's less likely to get damaged because that's what happened with the camera before. It was in the bag and it bumped up against the housing. So I think it's safer to put everything together. So super simple. Camera in the housing. Close the housing. You'll probably be able to hear the seal. You hear the whoosh. That means it's sealed, good seal. You can always look around the edge too and just make sure, it looks like there is a little bit of sand in here, so I do need to clean it again. And just, you can look around the edge, which is nice on this housing because it's clear. I know the Ica lights are black, which kind of sucks. You can actually look through and see the seal all the way around, except for right here on this camera. And there's a little button to release it. So you can't accidentally release this. You have to push down and then hard to do it with this hand. You have to push down and then open it and then open it again. So the good thing about this one is once it's clicked, it can't come open unless you pull that, push that down, which is great. So I don't ever trust the threads of these trays. They make me nervous. I don't want my camera to go floating off underwater. So this does sit on top. It's going to be kind of hard for you to see probably. Can't do it with one hand. So on the bottom, straightforward. There's a thread. There's a nut on the Blu-ray tray. Super easy. And like I said, because it swivels, I don't really like that. And I don't trust that tray to hold on the items. So I've attached 2 little hooks. And I hook them onto the camera, onto the 2 little arms here. Now, that camera is not going to come off. It would take 3 pieces of equipment to come off. The strobe, this is the fiber optic cable that connects to the strobe. I've got a little piece right here over the flash. It's just like a little male to female Velcro, and that's it. So it's really simple. I mean, you can put this together in like 5 minutes. And then let's see what else. This is the only thing that you may want to have spare parts of, I've noticed, is this little piece where the fiber optic cable goes inside. Sometimes this does pop out when I'm diving or snorkeling because my arms or hands will get caught on the cable. So you may want to get like some extras just to have some extras. If I have any, I will totally throw them in because obviously I don't need them. But that's pretty much it. It's really straightforward. Let me see if the batteries work and I'll give it a whirl. Yep. So batteries are still good. Kind of bend it down so you can see it all. Turn the camera on. You can see through the back. It's pretty straightforward. Make sure the flash is on. So I'm going to I'll just set it to aperture priority. Make sure my flash is on here. Flash is on. It's gonna be too bright. It's gonna be too bright to see it, I think. Plus, it's not warmed up all the way. Yeah, I'll do another video when it's a little bit darker. It's just way too bright out here to see it, I think. So, but at least you get the kind of the gist of all the parts and you know what it's all gonna come with. And this is a good idea to keep it on too. If you're gonna be doing, if you're gonna be using the strobe all the time, I would probably take some black electrical tape and black out this piece, or actually this piece, the whole part right here. Black this out because that'll give you a little bit of backscatter if you don't. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. It's a pretty awesome setup. You can see it's pretty light out of the water. Totally nice because it's really neutrally buoyant underwater, which is great. I actually keep this leash on it, so I wrap my hand around this and I just kind of carry it like that, and it works great. It's really comfortable and everything works really nice on it. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Later.